We have sound now. Let me check. I'm checking on my.
Yeah. Hello. So, welcome back. We had an audio issue, so there was no sound on the live stream, which is now fixed. So, thanks for letting us know. We're gonna restart. And hello. I'm Tato. I'm the communications and community manager at Brainbot, contributing to Trustlines. With me is Andreas.
Hey, my name is Andreas. I do project management related work for what we contribute to Trustlines.
Yes, so what we are going to be talking today is the Trustlines app, which is out now. So the production release of the Trustlines app has launched. This is the biggest issue we have for this community call. Of course, we're going to have the AMA section at the end, so post your questions at the forum or at the live stream chat if you want. And with this, we'll go forward with showing the app stuff again. So Trustlines app is out. You can read more at blog.trustlines.network, where we have this blog post. And with that, we have also updated the Trustlines app website. So you can find that at trustlines.app. The link should be also there down at the bottom on the live stream of the recording. And then at the Trustlines docs, we have the app user guide. So if you want to get started with the app and just want to learn more about how to use it, head on over to docs.trustlines.network. And with this, I'm going to hand it over to Andreas again to talk a little bit more about this launch of the production release, which is no longer in beta and now available at mobile app stores.
Thank you, Tato. Yes, as I just mentioned, and nobody heard, so I'm just going to repeat everything again. So after we launched the Trustlines app into the beta program in March to the community of ECC and to the world, so to everyone out there, we had more than we had hundreds of users testing the app and several people giving us direct feedback, which helped us improve the app, and thank you very much for that. That helped us a lot to fix bugs and also add more features and different designs within the app to make it more user-friendly. So that was very good. And after the 6 to 8 months test period now, we have now reached a state where we feel confident of releasing this app to the public, not in a beta phase, but also in a production, or only in a production phase. This has some disadvantages for iOS users because the test flight version and the production version are two different apps. So if you use iOS and you want to continue using the Trustlines app, we recommend that you download the Trustlines app in the iOS store, and then go into the test flight version of the Trustlines app, back up your seed phrase, import it to the iOS version, the iOS Play Store version, and then go back into the test flight version, pull a backup of your contacts and your non-blockchain related events, so payment requests, and then import that also into the iOS Store version of the Trustlines app. After that, you can delete the test flight version of iOS and you should be ready and set and you can go. For people using Android, it's easier. You just upgrade to the newest version and you're in the production version. You don't have to do anything else. So with the launch of the production app, we also did a facelifting to our Trustlines mobile app website. We gave you some examples on the page itself, how you basically get started, and some feature oversights. So the first thing that you always do within the app is you create your first Trustlines. So you download the app, you find a friend that you want to create a Trustlines with, and you get started. So there are two different ways to get started. You can either get the information from him face-to-face, so scanning his QR code, or him sending you his address. We recommend scanning the QR code. But you can also, now during COVID times, face-to-face activities are not too common. You can also just send a link to a person where you basically have the Trustlines details in, setting credit limits. And once the partner accepts that Trustlines, you guys are set and you can interact with each other and do payments with each other. Just to remember, Trustlines is a payment app, and we want to really motivate you guys to use it in and for payment between people that you trust and have connections with. And payment is such a broad field, and that's why we also have examples for which scenarios you can use Trustlines as a payment. It goes from the simplest thing that you have done probably more than once in your life, bill splitting with your friends and family, up until more complex scenarios where you pay companies, or you have a company set up that accepts Trustlines, up to social impact projects like a time bank. You can build a time bank on Trustlines and then reward people with hours, and you can pay with hours. So within the section of use cases, you can have an overview of 13 different scenarios in which you can use Trustlines to pay in different scenarios. And if you have questions to any one of these scenarios, feel free to contact us either via Twitter, Telegram, email, whatever is easiest for you to reach us. And we are more than happy to jump into a Zoom call with you and explain it and help you implement something. Also, since the app is now in production, we want to invite anybody using it. They can either use the app how it is and how you can download it. For people that don't want to depend on our server that is being run default by a company and that pays for the transaction costs of the users, you can set up your own server. We can help you with that. And for anybody in the app, it's easy to just switch the relay server that you're connected to. And if you want to have your own custom version of the app, we are also more than happy to help you. We have updated the documentation page. We'll have more insights of this in the next community call. We're going to do a dedicated session to development documentation, but we also have documentation on how to customize the app for yourself. Yeah, so send us an email via email request, ask us to gain access to the code. It's not open source yet, and we're happy to help your project get started with Trustlines and also use a dedicated app for your project if you want to do that. For anyone having any questions relating how to use the app, we have a very detailed user guide now that goes and guides you through the app with detailed screenshots and explanations. Pretty much every feature that we have in the app is represented in this user guide, which also makes it a long user guide that you don't have to read end to end. So just jump into it and navigate to the dedicated section that you would like to get more information about. So like creating a Trustlines or bill splitting or sending a regular payment or onboarding a friend, everything's there. And that's pretty much it, since it's almost Christmas and holidays and New Year. If we don't have any questions, or we could go now, skip to the questions.
Well, the question is that, so what are the upcoming things? What can we expect from the Trustlines app in the future?
So depending on what people basically want to have as feature and what is missing, main features will be around improving usability within the app and making it easier to switch between the currency networks that we currently have. Currently, we have the slider, which is going to be replaced by a drop-down menu. And we also are going to add a feature for payment requests. Currently, only the receiver of a payment request can decline it, but not the sender. He cannot cancel it. So those are two features that are in the pipeline. But other than that, we want to more focus on having other projects build with our app. So we have one project in Frankfurt, Meingold, who are going to start using our app and building their own app around it to connect to Trustlines. And then also for the Trustlines app, potentially add more translations into it. Currently, you can download the app and use it in 3 different languages. You can have English, German, and Spanish. Spanish, very important for our Venezuelan pilot projects that we have. And depending on what other projects and what other pilots we will have, we're happy to add more translations. That's basically the upcoming topics. The other point in general, like we had today, the update from the Trustlines blockchain from parity to Open Ethereum, which worked good. It seems that no problems have occurred there. In February, we will have a migration of currency networks. So the current version of the currency networks that are deployed on the Trustlines blockchain. And as a reminder, currency networks are the networks where you build trust lines with your friends and family in euros, beer, etc. We have more than 30 different currency networks deployed. They need to be redeployed because in the beginning, as we deployed them, we time boxed them so that they stop working after 1.5 years, so that if we run into any problems or bugs or we want to have some feature upgrades, we're able to do this in a way. So we have to migrate people to that currency network, to the new currency network, and the current plan will work very smoothly for users. So no worries on that end. And yeah, other than that, more pilot projects. We'll hopefully get a pilot project in Africa started soon, and open invitation for anybody wanting to use the Trustlines app or Trustlines protocol to build any community currency project on it to contact us and help us evolve the project into a better state and have more users in general.
Yes, and as the app is now out, readily available for everyone, we would love to hear your feedback. So, and also if you have any other support related questions or feature requests, head on over to forum.trustlines.network. We will just anything, if your experience has been good, if you have had maybe a bad experience, hopefully not, we would love to hear about it. So let us know. And yeah, right now we don't have any questions. You're muted.
Said no question means everybody is happy. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next community call will be quite interesting because we'll have Daniel joining from the Venezuela project and giving us an update. So anybody is interested in the pilot project that we have in Venezuela and Spanish-speaking community. We also have the Spanish-speaking WhatsApp group now. So definitely tune into that. And we will also do an intro to the development documentation. So for anybody interested in building on top of blockchain, we'll have a guided session through the development documentation and how you set up basically everything that you need to have your own app or your own relay delegation server, etc.
Yes, and if you missed it, Dan and the Venezuela pilot team was already a guest on the November community call. So check that out if you haven't seen it to learn more about that. And yeah, with no questions, I think we're going to start wrapping it up for this call. So go over to trustlines.app, check it out. Let us know what you think. Check out the trustlines.app website, blog.trustlines.network. Be sure to subscribe as well for all the upcoming updates. And with that, I want to wish you all happy holidays and good end of the year. We will see you in January with another community call. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Happy Christmas. And